Are private companies the future of space travel and exploration? Can business ventures succeed where governments once ruled? For most of history, space exploration was the realm of national pride and public funding. The Cold War space race between the US and the Soviet Union sent humans to the moon, but came with staggering costs and political motivations. Today the landscape is dramatically different. Private companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic have entered the arena, not just as contractors but as leaders. These companies aim to make space travel cheaper, faster, and more accessible than ever before, opening doors that governments alone struggled to push open. The motivations are different too. Commercial success, scientific discovery, and even dreams of interplanetary colonization drive these new players. Their ambitions stretch far beyond Earth's orbit to the Moon, Mars, and the broader solar system. However, with corporate control comes new challenges: profit-driven motives, regulation gaps, and questions about who owns the final frontier. Will space become just another marketplace? We're going to explore how private enterprises are reshaping the destiny of humanity in space, and what it means for all of us still grounded here on Earth. What changed to make space commercially viable? In the late 20th century, government space programs slowed down. Budget cuts, political shifts, and a lack of immediate returns made missions beyond low Earth orbit rare. This created a vacuum and a massive opportunity. Advancements in materials science, computer modeling, and miniaturized technology dramatically reduced launch costs. Rockets became lighter, navigation systems more accurate, and satellite technology much smaller and cheaper. The rise of billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos also played a huge role. With enormous personal fortunes and a vision beyond quarterly profits, they could afford to pursue long-term high-risk goals that traditional corporations might shy away from. Additionally, the commercialization of satellite internet, Earth imaging, and space tourism opened up new revenue streams, making private spaceflight financially justifiable and not just science fiction. Thus, the combination of opportunity, technology, available funding, and a shifting global attitude toward privatization set the stage for a new era, one where private ambition would carry humanity beyond the Earth's atmosphere. What makes Elon Musk's company so different from traditional space agencies? SpaceX revolutionized spaceflight with one primary focus: cost reduction through reusability. Traditionally, rockets were single-use and exploded into the ocean after delivering their payload. Musk envisioned and delivered rockets that could land themselves and be reused multiple times. The Falcon 9 rocket became a workhorse for satellite launches, ISS resupply missions, and now crewed flights. Each reuse slashed costs by hundreds of millions, making space more economically accessible. Beyond launch services, SpaceX dreams bigger. Starlink aims to create a global internet network by deploying thousands of small satellites, bringing broadband access even to remote areas and funding Mars missions in the process. The Starship project represents the most ambitious leap yet, a fully reusable spacecraft capable of carrying 100 passengers to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. It aims to make interplanetary travel routine rather than rare. SpaceX's combination of technological innovation, aggressive timelines, and marketing genius has not only changed what's possible, it's changed public excitement around space. Is Jeff Bezos' space company aiming for something even bigger? Blue Origin's motto, Gradatim ferociter, or step by step ferociously, reflects its slower and more calculated approach to space. Unlike SpaceX's headline-grabbing launches, Blue Origin has quietly built powerful infrastructure for humanity's future off-world. The company's New Shepard rocket focuses on suborbital space tourism, successfully ferrying civilians above the Kármán line and back. Meanwhile, New Glenn, a larger orbital rocket, aims to compete directly with SpaceX for satellite launches. Bezos' vision extends far beyond rocket launches. He imagines millions of people living and working in massive orbital habitats called O'Neill cylinders, self-sustaining space cities harvesting solar energy and minerals from the solar system. Blue Origin also won contracts for NASA's Artemis lunar lander missions, cementing its place in the coming moon economy. Its lunar ambitions include permanent infrastructure for mining, research, and commerce. In short, while SpaceX eyes Mars, Blue Origin is building the freeway between Earth and space, paving the way for a new civilization in the stars. Will commercialization benefit humanity or only the rich? One immediate impact is global internet coverage. Starlink and similar projects could bridge the digital divide, connecting billions of people who currently lack reliable online access. Earth imaging satellites, climate monitoring, and resource mapping from space are also being democratized. Private data firms help with agriculture, disaster relief, and conservation efforts worldwide. Jobs in space technology, manufacturing, software, and operations are booming. Entire new industries like asteroid mining, off-world construction, and in-space manufacturing could emerge within our lifetimes. However, critics warn about the privatization of what was once considered a shared human heritage. Space traffic congestion, space debris, and corporate monopolies over orbiting infrastructure are real risks. Ultimately, private spaceflight could make space a new platform for innovation and prosperity, or it could just become another battleground for unchecked corporate interests. Which future we choose depends on regulation, ethics, and public oversight. How close are we to colonizing another planet? SpaceX's Starship is designed with Mars in mind. Musk envisions sending cargo missions before 2030 to be followed shortly by crewed flights. Initial colonies would rely on pre-built habitats, resource extraction, and local production of water, oxygen, and fuel. The challenges remain enormous. Radiation exposure, long-duration isolation, the health effects of lower gravity, and psychological stress all threaten human survival on Mars. NASA's Artemis program, while focused on the Moon, also lays groundwork for Mars. Testing sustainable life support systems and resource extraction techniques on the Moon provides a closer test bed. Private-public partnerships are key. SpaceX can deliver the vehicles, but international agencies and academia will have to help solve the biology, governance, and ethical challenges of living off Earth. While a fully self-sufficient Mars city may be decades away, the first human footprints on Mars could be within the next 10 to 15 years, ushering in a new age of human exploration. Can laws keep up with the pace of private exploration? The 1967 Outer Space Treaty, signed during the Cold War, states that no nation can claim sovereignty over celestial bodies. But it says little about corporate activity, resource extraction, or private colonization. In recent years, the US, Luxembourg, and the UAE have passed national laws granting companies rights to mine and own space resources. This has raised both legal and ethical questions about ownership beyond Earth. There's also growing concern about orbital space becoming overcrowded. Satellites must avoid collisions, and responsibility for debris isn't clearly defined. The Artemis Accords, a set of principles led by NASA and signed by multiple nations, aim to create norms for peaceful space exploration. However, major powers like Russia and China have not joined, creating geopolitical tensions. As the private space race heats up, global agreements and enforcement mechanisms will be critical to prevent space from becoming lawless, polluted, or dominated by only a few powerful players. Are countries working together now, or racing apart in space? While private companies are leading innovation, national space agencies are still key players, and the geopolitical dynamics are heating up. NASA has embraced collaboration with companies like SpaceX but also seeks international allies through the Artemis program. Over 30 nations have signed the Artemis Accords, which signals a collective effort to return to the Moon. China, meanwhile, has rapidly accelerated its own space program. It built the Tiangong space station, has landed rovers on the Moon and Mars, and has plans for lunar bases. This has all been done without participation in US-led projects due to political restrictions and rivalries. Russia, once a dominant force in space, now finds itself increasingly isolated due to geopolitical tensions and the war in Ukraine. While still operating Soyuz missions and collaborating with China, its long-term capabilities remain uncertain. India has also emerged as a rising star, recently landing a probe near the Moon's south pole and signaling intentions for manned missions. The UAE, South Korea, and even private space programs in Africa and Latin America are also contributing to a more diversified global space effort. This mix of competition and cooperation mirrors the Cold War, but with many more players and a commercial twist. The question is whether space will become a shared frontier of peace, or a stage for nationalistic one-upmanship with corporate players caught in between. Are we ready for the new space age? Is humanity prepared for the next giant leap or for a dangerous divide among the stars? The new space race is no longer about two superpowers. It's a complex mix of companies, nations, and ideologies all reaching toward the same sky. Some for profit, some for pride, and some for the progress of humankind. Private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin have sparked innovation and lowered the barrier to entry. National agencies like NASA, CNSA, and ISRO are still driving science and exploration. But the rules, the roles, and the risks are all evolving rapidly. Whether it's laying the groundwork for Mars colonization, building moon bases, or mining asteroids, the future of space is being written now. And unlike the Cold War era, the players don't just include astronauts and engineers, they include investors, influencers, and global citizens. This era holds immense potential, a more connected world, new industries, and unprecedented scientific discovery. But it also holds danger, space monopolies, militarization, debris fields, and international mistrust that could derail the dream. The final frontier is no longer a metaphor. It's an open question. Will we use space to unite the world, or to repeat its worst mistakes? The choice and the opportunity are ours. Which private company do you think will make the biggest impact, and why? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell if you're excited about the future of space. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.